right, marketers, grab your overpriced standing desks and that oat milk latte you love so much, because welcome to Notorious B2B, the only show where we treat LinkedIn drama like breaking news and expose the real B2B marketing sins.
Yeah, think of us like SNL meets TMZ, but for the people who argue about whether gated content is still a thing or not. I'm Task Bober, B2B landing page nerd and lovable troll on LinkedIn.
And I'm Tim Davidson, the guy making TikTok-style videos and cutting fruit on LinkedIn. Together, we're cutting out nonsense and roasting the most ridiculous trends in B2B marketing.
Because if we have to suffer through another 10 things getting engaged taught me about B2B sales, we're taking you all down with us.
Let's get into it.
We don't have a super big docket today.
Well, you know what they say. It's not about the size of the docket. It's about the docket just being up. Get it? Yeah. All right. Boom, 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 boom.
Notorious B2B.
It's a small docket, but it'll get you there. We're here.
Okay. Are we starting?
We're always
I can't
started.
find
It's
a
always,
negative post.
literally always started.
It's always started.
We're in it.
Okay. For another week in a row, after switching up and doing circle back at the end, I'm going to put it back at the top again.
Oh, honestly, I get that. I get it.
It's our show. We can do
It's a
whatever
circle
the fuck
back.
we want.
You get it. The circle starts at the top always, right? Like the circle always starts at the top, sort of, kind of, right?
Yeah. I think the circle, the
Just
whole
gravity.
point of it is that there's no start or finish. It's a circle. Anyway.
A circle had to start somewhere, though.
Okay. All right. So since we last talked, Astronomer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
.io, by the way.
.io. This is the third time we're talking about them, like we did Builder AI, but it's a big story. It's a sizable story.
It's a huge. This one went.
It deserves it. It
went into the astronomers world. It went out there. It's in space right now.
Yeah. With your little mascots all over the place.
Which are very nice, yes.
Yeah. So Astronomer, as we know, their CEO and chief HR officer were cuddling on the Jumbotron. Chris Martin of Coldplay calls them out. Viral moment, huge thing. The CEO eventually resigns. His wife removed her last name of Byron off of all her socials without a statement yet. I have not seen anyway. And the interim CEO and co-founder put out a statement saying, now we've become a household name because of this, right? That's the latest update. And then the latest is that they decided to run a PR campaign, which is interesting. So what they did is hired Gwyneth Paltrow, which is Chris Martin's ex-wife, to be the temporary spokesperson for Astronomer. And they essentially put out what actually is a product overview explainer video, but they weave in a little bit of the scandal. Okay.
Good clip. Should we play it and like give the reactions or no?
Yeah, we can play it. Let's see. It got so
I got
big.
it right here. It went it got its own virality.
Yes.
Hey, on Twitter, it went wild, I saw.
It went wild on Twitter, made its way to LinkedIn. I was actually trying to find the negative reactions, and I was just going through posts and posts and posts of it. So we're going to play it right here.
Yeah, right here. All right, so this is on YouTube. I mean, just YouTube itself has 731,000 views in 3 days.
Wow.
That's YouTube itself, right? That's like, damn.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale. We've been thrilled so many people have a newfound interest in data workflow automation. As for the other questions we've received, yes, there is still room available at our Beyond Analytics event in September. We will now be returning to what we do best, delivering game-changing results for our customers. Thank you for your interest in Astronomer.
Gwyneth Paltrow, by the way, she's in like the Iron Man movies. She's Tony Stark's, ends up being like the fiance wife. She's in a bunch of movies. Chris Martin's ex-wife.
Which is the most notable part of this whole thing.
Yeah,
they got
big
her
actress. Yeah,
and they paid her a shit ton of money to do this.
Do you know? How much?
No, you would have had to. No,
Maybe.
this show is full on speculation.
True. Well, so probably, right? Like the agent probably wouldn't be doing their job if they didn't. But some people do some crazy shit to like get back at their exes.
All it says online is Gwyneth Paltrow was likely paid millions, in quotes, for her role as temporary spokesperson for the tech company Astronomer following the scandal.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
nobody knows, but she was definitely gonna be paid for that. 100%.
There's also speculation that the agency that did it was Maximum Effort, which is Ryan Reynolds' agency.
Really?
Like if you've ever seen like the stuff that he owns, like that cybersecurity company, like if you've ever seen those ads or like the Mountain, and they have a company called Maximum Effort. If you go on the website, it's actually very minimalistic. Turns out they probably did it, which makes sense. How do you get Gwyneth Paltrow like in such a short term like this? The turnaround here is crazy.
Ryan Reynolds picked up the phone. I mean, here's the thing. There's the same thing with the Bonnie Blue and Air thing. Same thing with Gwyneth Paltrow. The most surprising thing isn't even like the creativity or that they got her and all these hidden Easter eggs and all this other shit. It's the turnaround time, which is like insane for B2B. I literally posted today how long it takes to get stuff done in B2B. Yeah. And the fact that they turned it around in just like a few days, right? Filmed all that, got Gwyneth Paltrow to like come in, sit, do whatever, script, writing, production, all of that shit, and launch it. Awesome. So for that, I commend them.
Think about that. July 16th was the Chris Martin, their concert, the Coldplay concert.
Okay.
So it happens at night.
Yeah.
And then this post about the video. So the video came out 3 days ago. So that is July 26th. So within basically 9 days, this happened. Production, getting Gwyneth Paltrow, like in a studio, makeup, like all that stuff. That's crazy.
And getting the approvals internally from not just
they don't have a CEO
the
anymore,
interim people. Yeah, but he's not the only one. B2B, we know no one makes a fucking decision in a vacuum. They were just like, they had to run it by everybody, but they probably were like, fuck it. We got to like jump on this now.
Yeah.
There were obviously a lot of posts, but outside of the second wave of virality, like they got featured on CNN, right? But more importantly, everybody on LinkedIn, was sharing their thoughts. That's the most important. Who gives a shit about freaking CNN, right? So there were lots of positive feedback like this one this is just one of many. I just collected a couple of them. So Melissa, who said absolute brilliance. Huge shout out to Astronomer PR and marketing teams for finding a smart way to shift the energy. Then there was this one, which I thought was a nice write-up of it. And it said, masterclass in crisis management, the VP of marketing, All Voices, Emily Fennick. Astronomer hired Gwyneth Paltrow, Coldplay, Chris Martin's ex-wife, to handle common questions they've been getting since the Kiss Cam melter. The first one being, OMG, WTF. She responds with their data and AI products. The second one, how is your social media team holding up? She responds, promoting their upcoming conference. Brilliant. And they came up with this while navigating a crisis and change of leadership. So that one was really good. And then our buddy Dom, you sent me this one, but I think it might have been the first one that you saw. And he just said, honestly, can't deny it. Their marketing team is truly remarkable. And he actually just had a screenshot of his Instagram, which is funny.
The reason I shared this, because I don't know much about celebrity stuff. So I didn't even know when I saw the video, I didn't even know that Gwyneth was the ex-wife of Chris Martin. So the reason I said that is like, oh, that's actually makes it so much better than what I thought. I just thought they hired someone and they did it. I didn't realize the connection there, which made it so much better.
I didn't realize it at first either. I'm not very good at these things, so people have to put them together for me. But yeah, I saw that. But I mean, I found out very quickly after because my whole feed was just like,
Yeah, I just know her as Tony Stark's wife. That's all I know.
Yeah, Tony. Her actual fake character, the marriage is there, but not the real life one.
When she shows up in Endgame, that made me cry. That was cute.
It made you cry?
When she shows up at the end battle and she's in the suit, and she comes down, she opens the face mask. It just makes it maybe not cry, but a little goosebumps.
You cry.
A little bit, yeah, a little tear.
You cry for movies?
I've been known to cry for movies. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
They get me going.
Wow.
Some of them get me going. Yeah.
This is a very soft side of
That's
you.
a happy one though. That was a happy cry though. That was like anything with dogs done. I'm out. Like you can't even oof.
Yes.
But that one's it was good. I'm crying right now because of it almost.
Okay. Let's not lie to people. There's enough lying.
Let's talk about it.
Now, lots of positive feedback.
Yes.
Featured on CNN, but there was also a lot of negative feedback, right? Which was all over my feed and now I can't find a single one. But the negative feedback essentially was around how people's lives are ruined. They're making light of the situation. They're, not being considerate, right? They're looking at this as more of a PR crisis than actually like the destruction of lives and all the people that were hurt. And then the other posts about how essentially we're ignoring the actual corporate issues and the ethical issues here that are basically saying, yeah, you can go fuck up and do all of these things, and we're not going to take accountability for our leadership engaging in these activities, and we're making it kind of okay, making fun of it, and then moving past it, which I can kind of see. It's kind of like if it was some lowly employee at this place, he would have gotten fired. They would have never put this much into it. No. Would it have also gone that viral? No one knows. But kind of agree with that. But kind of like not doing the accountability piece. They're probably like, okay, well, we got rid of him. That's enough. And we're just gonna go ham. But what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think it was great. I think everyone that's complaining about it can fudge off. Like that's craziness. This was such a good way to shape the narrative, or not even like shape the narrative, but like just distract people from it. Like,
well, I think that was what the negative feedback was around, was that we were doing too much distraction when we should be talking about the core issues. But
no,
I think they're actually handling it head on. I think they faced it directly.
Yeah. It's not like, they literally, the questions that Gwyneth was answering were basically those. Like, they brought it into it. It's what you do when something bad happens. You kind of lean into it.
Shift it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't hide it. Like, there's really no way to hide this.
It's like when the Duolingo thing happened with the CEO and the AI stuff, and then they decided to delete all of their social posts and said that they were actually hijacked by the higher ups and they didn't approve that message and things like that. They were trying to do like the backtracking. So it's kind of handling, how do we handle it face on, but also tell people what we actually do. But there were even some people who were like, oh, what a missed opportunity because I still don't know what the fuck they do. Which, I mean, we're not the audience, I guess.
We're not the audience. Yeah.
Like what, I don't know what an Apache workflow, airflow, whatever is. So I
mean, and not for nothing, like from what the bad reactions I saw were mostly like actual PR professionals. And I'm sorry, but you're still putting out like, what are those called? You're still putting out press releases.
Yeah, on
the
like freaking Newswire.
Updates. Yeah, on the Newswire and freaking Reuters. Oh my, no one sees those. Who cares? Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you? Just stop.
This is actual. This is actual PR. This is actual PR.
Maybe. I don't even know if you call it PR. I just think it was just a good, and like all the people that were talking about it, I think it was great.
Yeah.
Good for them. We'll see.
I agree. I think that there are more pros than there are cons to that situation. One, people are already talking about it, so they capitalize on the relevancy piece. The second thing is it was a creative way to acknowledge the situation, but also tell people what Astronomer does or who they are. For the right ears, they would be like, oh, okay, I didn't even know they existed. Three, the speed at which it launched. Like, these are things we don't get to see in B2B, is like the very quick responsiveness, the speed without the approval processes, and then the creativity on top of that with the little Easter eggs. So you know what? Fine. 9 out of 10. The one mark is like, okay, they took the risk of, it's potentially going to come across as like inconsiderate, or we know people are getting hurt, like whatever. But also it's a for-profit company. Yeah, it's already done, It's
already done. But you know what? Money talks. They were at their Series D in May. We'll see what happens, right? Will they go IPO? Will they grow? We'll probably do a circle back in a year and be like,
yes,
this killed, or they maybe closed down.
Okay. So last week we talked about Adam Robinson's post about HockeyStack and how he interviewed Amir at HockeyStack, and they talked about how 5 SDRs are essentially making 20,000 cold calls a day. You and I kind of riffed on that a little bit.
I still
But
believe it.
okay,
Anything's
Mr.
possible
Devil's
these days.
Advocate. But I actually found this take, which I thought was interesting, and it started off with yes, him witnessing this, this post or whatever. So Gabrielle Ehrlich,
Eaterich.
founder at Remotion.io. He actually does post quite frequently.
Yeah.
So
I've talked to him a couple times. Good guy.
oh, okay. Very cool.
We're friends.
So he basically posts this. And initially I thought it was going to be like a super like a spicy thing and an update on that post. But he actually had a really insightful take. And it made me think about it a little bit. I sent it to Brendan Hufford, my big bro. I'm always sending him shit and trying to get his thoughts. But this is what he says. He says, the other day I saw a post that didn't sit well with me. LinkedIn famous CEO of a B2B tool for de-anonymizing your audience shared a conversation with another LinkedIn famous CEO of B2B attribution software. Okay, for those who don't know, Adam Robinson's the first one he's talking about, and Amir at HockeyStack's is the second one. So he was being very kind, but we all know who he was talking about.
Yeah.
In this conversation, the Attribution guy CEO, Amir, basically said he has 5 SDRs that make thousands of cold calls per day. The post is getting some deserved heat for the cold calling practice, with most people calling out that this is basically spam. Some are saying that they're flat out lying. Both might be true, but that's not actually what bothers me so much. See, B2B attribution is something I care deeply about. I deal with this shit every single day for the last 11 years or so. Right? We all have. Every B2B marketer, this is our biggest problem. So it's one of the hairiest problems in B2B, the holy grail, if you will. And these guys claim that they solve it. But they obviously didn't, because if they did, you would have heard about it from more of their customers. Their name would be a shorthand for B2B attribution. LinkedIn would be flooded with real stories and screenshots showing how it was done. People would be claiming to be experts in their platform, and a little cottage industry would sprout up of specialists that would set this up for you. But none of that is happening. Instead, you have a company that's built up a huge organic and paid LinkedIn presence over the last few years, saying he is basically spamming every man, woman, and child in the Northern Hemisphere. That doesn't exactly scream, we found the Holy Grail. It screams, we found one of the biggest pains in the industry, and we intend to exploit that pain for everything that we can. So I'm calling bullshit. Something is not right here. But it actually did get me thinking. I mean, every company I've been at, the biggest thing is attribution. That was literally how budget was given to me and taken away from me. Every reporting meeting, I had to go in and somehow spin that digital was bringing in this much, or the website was bringing in this much, and down to maybe even the ad specific place. You and I have talked about this, where HockeyStack will put out a post and say, comment to get this or whatever. And we're like, why do they even need this? Why do they need that? They could literally use their attribution software to solve for so many of these things that they're just putting out there, right? With this is where ICP is, this is who we're focusing on. Then why do you need people to comment and get a bunch of fucking leads when your SDRs are calling everybody in your market every day? Why are you doing all of this, right? So it just made me go down the spiral, and I was like, yeah, if they did actually solve for it, why aren't more people talking about it other than them?
Well,
Tim is speechless. This is great.
Well, I think the problem here is it's not just HockeyStack's issue. I think it's attribution in general. I think the attribution tools are cool. They can help to an extent. I don't think they actually solve the actual attribution. It just gives you additional insights on touches, and this blog post, was a part of 10 deals or whatever it is. I don't think it solves attribution at all. I bet you, I could be wrong. I bet you if you just deleted attribution software off the face of the earth, everyone's days would look the same.
We just go on with our lives. But
I
then
think we'd have the same exact conversations.
Yeah.
We'd have the same pipeline. I think we'd all have the same revenue. I just, I could be wrong. I think it obviously depends on the company. I'm sure it works great for some companies. But I have a couple clients that use attribution software, and
it doesn't make a huge difference. But I think that's the issue, is that they're claiming to have solved for this black box that we have all talked about this whole time. I mean, they're not the only company, but they're the loudest company.
Well, they're a marketing company. Yeah. That's what you tell people.
Market.
You solve the solution that you're marketing. That's what every company does that, right? ABM platforms. We solved ABM. Like that's what you have to do. That's what marketing is.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve it for everyone. Not every company is going to get the most value out of your tech. It's just, Clay solved whatever they solve, but doesn't solve it for everyone. Execution matters. All those other things matter.
Okay, but if we go super simplified, something like Calendly. Calendly is meeting scheduling software.
Uh-huh.
It helps eliminate like the back and forth emails. I feel like it actually does eliminate that though. Like it is a very like clear cut. It has solved it.
Until I give someone my scheduling link and I actually have off, I've knocked off, I put DNS on 3 days and they need to schedule those days. There's some email, I told them Monday, but my schedule says it's not available Monday. So there's still going to be emails. That doesn't solve it.
It mostly solves it, but if they...
Not in that situation, there's going to be email back and forth.
Do you think that they solve it to the extent that Calendly solves the calendar scheduling software?
No, because it's different. I think it's different problems, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that say Calendly solves that problem 90% of the time. The 10% edge cases you're talking about where like, oh shit, a client really needs me to schedule time. And okay, for this day, I got to send them back and forth, which I've actually found a different way to do that. So I have different calendars. So I have one where it's meeting with prospects and those days are opened up, and my networking ones is a different calendar and that's a little more closed off. So there's things like that I found where it's like these calendars are exempt from, these rules, that kind of thing, right? So, but 90% of the time it works, 90% of the time, right?
Right.
Do you think that attribution software like theirs works 90% of the time? I feel like even if it did 80 or 90%, people would be talking about it online all the time.
I don't think it does, because I think the definition of attribution is way different than the definition of a meeting scheduled.
Yeah, that's why I said I wonder if I'm oversimplifying it. But in that case, it's like they just want to know what is driving revenue for our company. What marketing activities are driving revenue for our company? Is it social? Is it paid? Is it organic?
Direct traffic.
Whatever. It's
That's the thing. That's the problem. It's direct traffic and branded search. Organic, paid, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's direct traffic. The person that solves direct traffic, now you've won.
Now you've won.
You can't. Direct traffic is the black box.
It is.
You go into a meeting, someone that doesn't know what direct traffic is, they look at a dashboard, be like, how do we spend more on direct traffic? That's what they would ask.
You have to spend on
there's
everything
no way. There's no
else.
reason. Yeah. I think that's the issue, right? Is like, I think it's a different question. So attribution is very much more vague. It's like solving for love.
Oh God. This is going to be a social
solving
clip.
For love. It's like
watch.
Love.
Wait. This is going to be a social clip, which is watch Tim explain attribution with a love analogy. Okay, go. I'm listening.
It's
I've
like Bumble.
I
don't know the apps anymore. So I'm going to go with the only app I really know of. Tinder. It's like Tinder, saying it solves for love.
Okay.
It also solves for a lot of freaking craziness. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't solve everyone's love problem. I can promise you that.
Okay.
But it probably helps some people. I have a friend who married the person they met on Tinder.
Yeah,
right?
I met my husband on Tinder.
Boom. You're the friend I was talking about. No. Now it's two. So now we got two Tinder solved loves, right? Attribution, I'm sure you can figure out 2 companies that solve revenue for their company because of attribution software.
Okay.
But there's also 1 billion people that have not figured out love from Tinder.
Yeah, who've only, met, F-boys or whatever. Yeah, I mean,
that's I wonder if the question is not being. I don't think the right question is being asked. Is not from you. I'm saying attribution.
Okay, what's the right question?
Should we fire people that care about attribution? That's the question.
That would wipe out like leadership at every company.
Here's my theory. The Astronomer CEO was framed because he cared about attribution. And they needed a good way. The marketing team, like the girl that was in the video that's like smiling as they like, talking about the...
Yes, the VP.
That's
she was
the
like
marketing
the
team.
VP.
That's the head of growth. That's the head of growth who gave Chris Martin a little bit of texted Chris Martin to shine it over here. They're holding each other. She wanted him out because of attribution. That's my theory. That's what's really going on.
I feel like Lay should make a meme graphic with that girl who's like laughing because she knows that they got caught. And like in front of her, it should be head of growth framed the CEO. And then the CEO
I might
should
pull
say
on this thread.
the CEO the CEO that cares about attribution. So like they got framed because we don't want anybody who cares about attribution in our company.
That's my theory. That's
Okay.
what's going on. I think we're going to see more of that too.
That's very, very solid theory.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's true.
Okay. Anyway,
What are we even
you know what?
talking
No,
about here?
I don't know, but that
Cold calls.
I would say that is fair because you're right. Maybe it solves it for some companies, but not for ones that maybe have a lot of activities going on. So if HockeyStack came to me and I had 3 or 4 channels, maybe it would be able to tell me on those 3 or 4 channels, like, yeah, most of your deals come from LinkedIn, which makes sense, right? Like if they worked with Adam Robinson, they'd be like, okay, your LinkedIn presence and your webinars are driving a ton of growth, right? And probably a lot of like brand queries, that kind of stuff. Like right now I get a lot of traffic to my website, but like I never even post a link to my website. But people do it because they go search for me, find my name, go find my website. So I get a lot of direct traffic that way. I can probably tell you where it's coming from, right?
Yeah.
But it's when you have like content syndication. We fucking hate content syndication. Content syndication, programmatic. You're fucking running Facebook, LinkedIn,
Twitter, MySpace, everything.
yeah, MySpace, Tinder, whatever. And then you're trying to fucking figure out, everybody's doing all this stuff and you're trying to figure out where most of your deals come from. It's probably some part of the pie of this entire universe. So fine, it's fair. But bottom line, we don't need attribution software is where you're going.
Maybe we do. I don't know. That's the problem.
We definitely don't need ABM software, do we?
Maybe.
Oh.
I've seen it work, right? Like I've seen it not work also. Do we need a CRM? I think that's one of those categories you probably do.
Yeah.
You don't. By the way, you don't. You can use Google Sheets, right? You can use a spreadsheet, but when you have a bunch of people going into the thing, a Google Sheet would be a fucking mess.
Yes.
People changing shit. When you have, then you got marketing automation, like all that stuff. There's some platforms where it's more set in stone. Like you need a CRM. It's just true.
Yes.
You need like communication. Like, yes, you could email everyone, but you need like a Slack or a Teams.
No, you don't. I don't fucking use Slack. I hate Slack.
I'm not talking about us weirdos.
Oh, you're talking about in-house people.
Yes, when you have to like deal with things like that.
I apologize. I got triggered when I heard Slack.
I get what you're saying, but like, when you have a company that has internal employees all the time, like you need that stuff.
Fine.
You need email. Like there's things like that that you need.
But do we need attribution software? I think the more and more we have been told, whether it's snake oil or not, the more and more we have been told that every dollar counts and we have to justify every dollar. We need something to tell us where each dollar is going to justify to whoever, whether we like the outputs of that or not. Yeah. So it doesn't matter that it works. It only matters that it tells a story that we can then feed to the people who care about attribution.
Story matters.
Story matters. Okay, we're moving on. We talked about this way too long. Let's noodle. Ooh. You're going to cover this one because you sent this one to me about the offensive comment that got this guy fired.
When did I send this?
Last week. Shut your messages, or you want me to read them?
No, we can. All right, so we got something going on here. Troy B. He posted about being basically like a LinkedIn whistleblower. Today, I am speaking publicly on LinkedIn as a whistleblower in the state of California. 2 weeks ago, I was terminated without warning from my role as a director at DraftWise, a legal AI startup backed by prominent investors. I had received no written performance complaints, and the only explanation I was given after I raised concern about a deeply offensive comment made in a company meeting, in a recorded Zoom call during a discussion about marketing in Europe, specifically Poland. These M dashes are getting me here with the AI. About marketing in Europe, specifically in Poland, my manager, the company's CMO looked at me and, as I remember it, said, "Well, you'd better just stay away from the ovens then." Oh, fuck, that's brutal. I'm Jewish. That comment was not a misunderstanding. Okay, by the way, AI company.
Oh, yes, I know. Oh, my God.
I was stunned and ashamed that I didn't speak up forcefully in the moment. I had 2 young kids, no HR department to turn to, and I had finally found a job I loved after a period of instability. I quietly expressed my discomfort and tried to move on. Not long after, I was dropped from key meetings, given new and impossible reporting demands, and ultimately fired with minimal severance. Oof. Only after I raised the issue of the recorded comment did the company's general counsel acknowledge the incident, and then immediately doubled the severance. Doubled the severance offer while still insisting that the comment wasn't discriminatory. Then suddenly the offer was revoked. What the? I filed complaints with the EEOC and California's DLSE, little acronyms there. Since then, I've received no communication from the company, its board, or investors, only intimidating legal threats from individuals involved in the original incident.
Ooh.
I'm not seeking money. I'm not hiding behind anonymity. I'm stating this publicly because silence enables cycles of intimidation, and because early stage tech companies should not be exempt from the basic standards of accountability. I welcome any journalist, customer, or legal professional who wishes to learn more. Everything I've said here can be verified. Attention.
Woo!
Oh, okay. Attention. Index Ventures, Y Combinator, and Global Founders Capital. So I'm assuming who backs them. Oh, okay. So his first comment is Don Stelter and Martin Mignot. Is time for you and the other investors to bring the situation to a satisfactory conclusion.
Oh my gosh. And then there are some people I recognize too in the comments who have either reacted to the post or commented on there. So I see that, sending wishes. So sorry this has happened,
Yeah,
sharing your background, etc. There's actually other people who are also Jewish and just sharing their horror at this. That is, first of all, insane that you could even bring that up. You know what's funny? When you first sent me this post and I skimmed it, I thought that basically he got fired for making a comment in a meeting. So I was waiting to see what this comment was. And then the interesting part about the story is that he was on the receiving end of this terrible comment. And then, you know, we did what we do, which is, you know what? We're shitty to you, but we're going to gaslight you and make life miserable for you and then leave.
Bad choice of words.
Well, no, I mean, gaslighting is a term, but I'm saying they're going to gaslight him into making him feel like he's the freaking problem because he brought up something. But this has happened. I'm very triggered right now, but this has happened repeatedly. This has happened at companies I've worked for where it's like, they're always like, you know, you should be able to share feedback and this is a safe space and all this shit. You bring it up, you say something. He even says, I quietly brought it up, expressed my discomfort, and then tried to move on. But the fact that he even voiced that concern, immediately target on his back, even though he was not the offender. And so, one, proud of him for saying something. It's very well written, even though you were getting tripped up by the M dashes. The interesting part was the actual threats he's getting from the individuals. And then the third part is he actually saying, I welcome any journalist or customer.
That's what he should do. I don't even, here's what's crazy to me, and I'm trying to reread it over and over again. It doesn't even, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't sound like he actually even brought up the concern until after he was fired. So like they fired him, or they stopped adding him to meetings before he even just to get in front of it. Because he says, not long after I was dropped from key meetings, but then he says, only after I raised the issue of the recorded comment did the company's general counsel acknowledge the incident and then immediately doubled the severance, which means he was already on his way out with the severance.
No. So the paragraph before that, he says, I was stunned and ashamed that I did not speak up more forcefully in the moment because he had finally found this job. He quietly expressed his discomfort and tried to move on.
Okay, I missed that.
And then not long after that, he was dropped from key meetings, given new and impossible demands, ultimately fired with minimal severance. So then when he went back to the company and said, hey, this is the issue, you fired me, and this is when things started to take a turn. They're like, oh, okay, we acknowledge it now. Here's double the offer, because we all know with severance packages what comes with those non-disparagements. Mm-hmm. And so they probably, in their way, are paying him off to keep him quiet. Now, I don't know how that impacts his severance here,
right?
But he probably doesn't care because now he's contacting, larger authorities over that. He's tagging investors.
Yeah,
he's saying customers can come talk to me, and it's gotten some traction. So I wonder if he's gotten any feedback since then from that. You're looking up who this person is.
I don't even see, I see a head of marketing and I see a enterprise leader. So I'm not sure.
Okay. So, it could have been this guy, maybe not. He's only been there for 8 months. So perhaps we don't know. At this point, we're speculating. But regardless, terribly offensive. I think in that moment, the right thing to do would have been to acknowledge it. Actually, the person who said it was probably the person who needed to be reprimanded in some way.
Yeah.
Definitely from the company and management. Should he have said something? Yes. Or more forcefully, sure. But at the same time, like as a person on the other side, like I have made comments, like I've let go of comments made to me about my gender, my ethnicity, those types of things, because I don't want to come across as combative or like, that kind of thing. Or impolite when it was in fact them who made me feel that way. So sad. I hope it gets resolved for him. It sounds like he had a hard time getting a new job, and now he's back on the market again, trying to get a new job. But yes, that's brutal. Sorry, Troy, and hope it gets resolved. But I wonder if there will be a circle back on, on him.
Hopefully, but unfortunately, I bet you nothing happens.
Nothing.
I'm not saying that I have a feeling that nothing's gonna happen, and it's really sad. But it's a legal company. Like I feel like there's gotta be some sort of.
I will send him a message after this, and then tell him to keep us in the loop of the ongoings. I mean, I kind of want to know. It's kind of a shitty thing. Okay, next on the list, as usual, every week, more than AI, people talk about terrible outreach strategies. People are always posting about that. So instead of telling you whether they're terrible or not, I just linked to both of them and I said, now, is this a bad outreach strategy? And then what about this other one? So you can decide and you tell me whether you think these are good or bad. Maybe it should be like a game show. Okay. Is this good or bad outreach? Okay. All right. So this is the first one that I found. Okay. So imagine thinking Babe is a good opener. Then imagine explaining to your mom why no one will fund you. If your investor pitch could be mistaken for a booty call, you're not a founder, you're a liability. LinkedIn is not Tinder. That's a very interesting hashtag. I want to see if there's other posts. Okay. John Tannhauser, CEO of Anyway, we need an easier company name. Hackretion. He says, Babe, we both know what you really want. Invest in Hackretion, and I'll give you the chance to prove you can actually handle it. Winky face. Okay, I have so many thoughts about this, but I want your thoughts first.
So it's clearly terrible, but the question becomes, okay.
Tread lightly, terrible. Tim, as a white male, tread lightly.
No, because if you go to his profile,
okay,
this adds up.
Oh.
And when I say that, I just opened his profile.
Okay. Show me.
His tagline. Okay. Yeah. Let's just.
Yeah. Well, show me his profile.
And you'll see it. You'll see exactly why I snickered when I saw it.
Okay.
Look at his look at this. This is literally his thing. Bachelor Playboy. It adds up. I mean, I don't expect anything else from this guy. The question becomes like, is he serious or is he just like, I don't know if some of these people are just like mentally challenged. Like there's something wrong with him. Or
what is that post?
This one?
The first one.
Oh, at the gym?
Being fat isn't cool. Wait, what? Oh, that's
he uses LinkedIn is not Tinder, by the way.
Yeah. Did you approach your gym crush or avoid eye contact again? I'm curious. LinkedIn is not Tinder. This has got to be a troll.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't tell if these people are not real or like they don't have much. Usually have much on this profile, right? Like there's just not much going on here. As a retired 27-year-old entrepreneur, I do it all. You're retired. Okay.
At 27. Before this, his work experience has been a Marine.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then went to become a CEO. Mm-hmm, quite the gap.
I don't think he's real. Honestly. Unfortunately, I just don't think he's real.
What does the company page say?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
It's a real estate platform. An unapologetic lifestyle brand built for the bold. It's where deals, identity, and ambition collide. More than a brokerage. It's definitely written by AI, right? AI loves them. More than the duh, it's a duh.
Yeah, this is a website.
No reliance on the MLS.
It's the worst website or worst name I've ever seen, too. And mine's pretty bad. So,
I mean, is that the only property that's on there?
Well, they're looking at investors. They only got one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is not real. I mean, no, I think it is real. I don't even know I can't tell anymore. This
I mean, real
AI's
enough
got
to
me
send,
messed
real
up.
enough to send cold outreach to people, thinking that that's a bold play to say babe and have these like sexual undertones in your cold outreach. Because if
And
you look at the comments,
yeah, other people have gotten them too.
yes.
Oh, my guy.
He's commenting.
Hit the gym, buddy. So Skylar Birkenstein says, babe, no. And John Tannhauser, which that's quite the name too. Everything's adding up here. Says, hit the gym, buddy. Oh, he keeps going. All right. Another person, Urton Kennedy, laughing my ass off. Amazing post. I had to reread it just to make sure I read it right. And then John does respond. Oh,
She doesn't want you, bro.
So Brooke responded to that, who's the poster. And then John responds, she doesn't want you, bro. Does he keep going here?
He's been following up. He's not a glitch.
Or is that even more so a glitch? Damn, he's confident. I'll give him that. I will give him that.
Overly confident. Didn't expect our first date to involve your husband and half of LinkedIn, but hey, I like when things get interesting early. What is going on? This isn't even.
I'm worried about the guy.
You're worried about the guy?
Yeah, I think he was bullied, and now he's like out of high school, obviously.
I mean, he was a Marine. There could be some PTSD stuff too in
These
there.
type of people lie. I don't know if he was a Marine.
Oh.
I'm worried about the guy. I think he's got something going on here.
Maybe you should check on him. Make
Nope.
sure he's okay.
I've
Okay.
done that.
What's the other one that I shared with you? I said, okay, if that one's a bad strategy, what about this one?
All right, let's see it.
So we know that B2B is full of, unrealistic targets, that kind of stuff. Troy Munson, CEO at Demo, he posts quite a bit too. But he said, I just got this gem in my inbox. An SDR basically asking me to be a fake meeting so they can hit their quota. You don't actually have to meet with me. We can just fake some emails. Dude, I'm over here grinding through a 30-day cold calling challenge, making 100+ dials a day, dealing with rejection, getting hung up on, and pushing through when I'm literally sick with a fever. And you want me to help you cheat your way to quota? Shaking my head. So anyways, booked a meeting and we've been emailing back and forth. But this guy, and the screenshot here, subject line, help a guy out. It says, hi, Troy. Love the content on LinkedIn. Been sort of on a bender these last few weeks, and I'm way behind on my quota for meetings booked. Think I can put you down on the board? You don't actually have to meet with me. We can just fake some emails. Do you think this is fake? And if it is, that's fine. Do you think this is a good strategy?
A terrible strategy, but I
For
can't
the
tell it's
right
fake.
person, it'd be like, you know what? That took freaking balls. I understand, under a lot of pressure. Yeah, I'll do my good deed for the day. It's like buying someone coffee.
If you're selling to a salesperson, I think they would understand.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think there's that. And so maybe it might, if you do it enough, I bet you it would work. I think it's one of those things where if you have the numbers here, it could work.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, if you're selling to someone who's in sales and kind of gets the grind, although Troy's like, I'm freaking killing myself to get legit calls and this guy's just faking his way. But you know what? It's a tough market out there. And it's very in line with our AI scammers. You put more brain power. Like, he could have literally just sent a regular cold email, but he sent him this and he now got some fanfare on freaking LinkedIn, got noticed, but he could have actually used his powers for good and actually just sent a really nice outreach email. That could have been maybe a little bit different. He hit the different part.
Maybe he's testing it though. Maybe it's an A/B test.
Yeah. And he's probably thinking, you know what? Maybe they'll meet with me, maybe not. But then they're on the call and they're like, well, while I have you, you want to just make this productive and show you what we do? It's actually kind of smart. I don't know.
It's bad.
I feel like it's a good like bait and switch,
It's not bad actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder if it's a better second message, like a cadence.
Yeah, like, hey, just following up. I know you didn't respond to my first one, but listen, I've really been on a bender. I really need this meeting, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think that's how it'd work.
It's pretty smart. We need to bring some sales experts on these calls and ask them if this would be a viable solution.
Hey, I mean, if everyone else is zagging, you zag,
Yeah. I mean, no one else is getting posted about on freaking LinkedIn. Why not
True.
this guy? Okay. Now, moving on. The next one on here. Okay. I saw this one on LinkedIn Lunatics first on Reddit in the middle of the night. Middle of the night for me is like 10 o'clock. And the first question is this real? Because someone said, oh, what a weird post to make up. But this guy said, Brett Goldstein, he's a founder slash CEO slash designer at Micro, whatever that is. And he says, met a candidate that said he is looking for more work-life balance, in quotes. In the first interview, he rejected immediately. This was my advice to him. And it's a screenshot of him obviously sending this dude an iMessage. And in the message, he says, I'm going to be honest, mentioning you are prioritizing work-life balance was a non-starter. For your other interviews, I'd really consider how you're approaching things. If you truly desire work-life balance, it is probably a sign you haven't found work that you truly love. I work 80+ hour weeks and it never feels like work because I love it. Startups may also not be the right place for you. The reality is that early team members really do need to put in long hours for little pay to make a startup successful. Ones that have, quote unquote, great work-life balance and high cash comps always fail. Sounds exploitative to work-life balance folks, but it's not at all for actual startup people who deeply believe in the mission and the future value of their equity. Prefer extremely fast-paced environments, are passionate about their craft, want to make a massive impact on the world, and love the uncertainty and learning of new skills that comes with it. Even big companies like Google are notorious for lazy employees. Don't want to hear that you're focused on balancing your life rather than helping them succeed in your first interview. It's common sense. Team players care about the team, and no one likes working with people who aren't one. Hope this helps and good luck. And then there's like a red at 2:09 p.m. Now, I saw this on LinkedIn Lunatics first. Then I found it on LinkedIn after to see if it was real, because sometimes I'm like, they kind of make up shit sometimes in that sub. But people are like commenting, just saying, okay, well, there are a few funny ones, like Adam Delahanty, founder and CEO at Go, says, iMessage feels a little intimate for one and done, Brett. And then other people were like, Max Brown, my friend, was like, so you were texting a candidate back after a first interview? What an odd post to make up. And then all these people were like, I'm waiting for the satire and rage bait, but I can't tell if this is real or not. So my first question to you is, one, is this real? Oh my God, hi. Hi. There's a baby on screen. Are we showing baby or no? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, I don't care.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stop sharing so I can see
Hi.
the baby. Hi, Asher. Oh my gosh, the last time I saw him, he was like itty bitty baby.
Yeah,
This is a full toddler right now.
he's getting big. He's walking. He's doing all the things.
How old is he now?
He's 15 months.
Hi. See the smile? There's a smile. Oh my God. Okay, what were we talking about? Are we gonna continue to just talk like he's not
Yeah,
here?
we could talk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so this guy, I found him first on LinkedIn Lunatics. Then he ends up on here. And this is hilarious because you actually have your son on this right now while we're talking about someone rejecting someone over work-life balance. Was that intentional?
No,
It just, the show writes itself. It's
it
actually
does.
quite
It
hilarious.
does. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay, so he writes this, rejects this guy. People are like, is this fake? Is this not? So my first question to you is, one, is it fake? Two, can you have work-life balance and still work at a startup?
You can. People do it all the time. Is it fake? Maybe.
Would you lie in an interview and not be honest about wanting work-life balance?
I think many would.
Many would, if the money's good enough, right?
If the money's good enough and you need a job, like maybe you need a job,
Yeah.
right? Because yes, it says, even if they're saying like you gotta, like work-life balance is gonna be tough, you always, in the back of your head, if you need a job, you think, oh, I could figure it out. I can get my way through. I can use AI or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. My husband is actually quite big into work-life balance, and it is how he assesses any roles and has, for all 10 years I've known him. It is not something that you want to mention really on calls because like immediately they think that you're not a good team player, which is like so odd and such a weird stigma in my mind. But to like reprimand someone over that is kind of weird and shady in itself. Second, like I love working. Okay. I could sit and work all day long. I could do 80 hours. I love what we do. I love what I do, like all of that stuff. And sometimes I'm like, shit, I wish I had time to write content for like Notorious
Yeah.
B2B, but sometimes I don't even have time to write content for myself. But the fact of the matter is, when you have kids, you have a family, like you got to kind of segment and work on things. And so he's like, oh, when you love something, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, at what cost? You'd be ignoring everybody else. Do I think this is fake? I actually don't think this is fake. Texting, like if someone reaches out to you on LinkedIn, which has happened before, and it's like, hey, I have this job, whatever. I'm really slow on this. Just if you want to text me about it, that's fine. And then you have the first interview. So I actually don't think the texting is like that big of a deal. I've seen it happen before, especially if you are a startup guy that's like, I want direct access to you. He probably,
Yeah.
got the number and went in there. But I feel like this is a little bit aggressive to send somebody after the first interview, although I appreciate sending feedback. Sometimes you just get ghosted. But he's insinuating that this guy just doesn't give a shit about work because he wants some balance.
I just like I get it, but I just think it's like it's actually a smart play to mention it if that's what you want.
Yeah, it's
Like that's how
honest.
you
It's the right thing to do.
That's the way to do it. Now this guy, like he's saying he works 80 hours a week. If you truly desire work balance, it's probably a sign that you haven't found that. I think that's bullshit. Doesn't mean you haven't found the work that you love. I love what I do. I also don't want to work 8 hours a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think that's bullshit. Like just because that's what you found, you're gonna burn out. By the way, this is the classic thing. This is the CW. What happened with CW, right? You work so much, you make enough money, and then you go and be a spiritual guide,
I also think it's easier to do if you don't have a family or kids or life outside of work. But if he does, then he's obviously gravely like ignoring them or neglecting them. There's the other thing is this is very like founder mode. Like, oh, we're a startup. We're going to just sit in like this desk, all of us are going to share this little office and work all hours of the day, all through the night. There was some post about that engineer. I don't know if you saw that one where it was like celebrating this engineer who's going on her third like night of no sleep. And it's like, no, we shouldn't be celebrating this shit. This is the shit that gets us into trouble in the first place. But this is very hashtag founder mode. But I think that founder mode now, shout out Dave Gerhardt, is more like, can you not be so involved in the business and still have it run successfully without you?
Right.
That's
well, I also think I get like why people celebrate the 3 days no sleep and 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
I also think you gotta remember you need like creativity. Like if you want to be creative, you need to fucking sleep. If you want to do anything, you need to sleep. Your productivity is gonna like just tank.
Yeah.
You don't
But
sleep.
do you think it's because we're old? We're like above 30.
No, I don't. Yeah, if you're 25, you can get away with less sleep.
Yeah.
You still need fucking sleep. There's a lot of data out there now. There's a lot of like you're drunk. You're drunk when you don't sleep. Like that's the thing.
Yes. Like
you
can't drive.
Exactly. Like that. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. You're getting like a bunch of stuff done, but like your percentage of productivity is going way down every night.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna riff on this again, or keep going on this. 80 hours a week, cool. That's cool. Do it. But like, I can guarantee you, there's someone outperforming you at 40 hours a week. There's always that. There is 100% always that. So when it is like celebrated, cool. But I can promise you, there's gonna be someone out there that's working 30 hours a week and actually outperforming you because they're better at other things than just working 80 hours a week. And I can also promise you that person working 30 to 40 hours can't just double that and have the same exact productivity.
Yes. So this is really funny. I actually talked to somebody about this yesterday and they were like, oh, you're going on vacation next week. And I said, yeah. And they're like, good. I've seen how much mental effort you've put in this year. You deserve it. And I said, what mental effort? I've put in like maybe 40% this year. And they're like, 40%? Like you've put out all this content, you've iterated your process, you got all these clients and stuff. I'm like, yeah, 40%. You know why? I can only give 40% because I only work 3 days a week because I have my kid with me the rest of the time, which as you can see, impossible to do any work when your kid's like hanging around, especially as they get older and more active and, eating random stuff, like chewing on a pen.
It's not clicked. Don't worry. It's not clicked. It's fine.
It's fine.
Baby pen's over here.
Oh, look at him.
Actually, it was clicked. Shit.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but I think that because I have such limited time, I'm far more focused on efficiency, how to do things well, and prioritization. What are the most important things that I can work on today while I have this focus time and area? So honestly, it's better than working. You just sound like you are mismanaging your time at 80 hours a week.
Yeah, the prioritization is such a big point. And sometimes I do wonder if that just comes with experience, right? So if you're 25, 23, 24, working 8 hours a week, it's because you don't know, because you haven't been working for 10 years, you don't know what to prioritize.
Yeah.
Like there's those things that you just learn over time that you just know have bigger outcomes than others. And so you just prioritize your time for those. It's like pattern matching.
I'm so distracted right now. Okay, well, we can end the episode here with retention rate, but I had one other topic to talk to you about because you are the king of this topic.
Always. Pokemon. Is it Pokemon?
No, I would never. Just
Legos?
For the record, I would never ask you about Pokemon, just so you know.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about parasocial content. So I've heard of parasocial content for the first time like yesterday. But for those of you who don't know, I posted this video yesterday of me working out and talking about the brain of a B2B marketer at 5 a.m. So Lay can play that. All free plugs when it's your show.
Yes, fair.
And then Brendan Hufford sends me this text in our little group chat, and he's like, holy shit, Tass, I was just talking to someone the other day about parasocial content, which is basically you're doing something else and you're talking about something else. So whether that's like Tim Davidson talking about B2B marketing while cutting fruit, you are like the king of that kind of content. Or like, weren't you like making a baby bottle or putting a stroller together and stuff and talking about B2B marketing? So that's what they're talking about as parasocial content. And he said that, B2C does this all the time, or like influencers are like sitting in their car or doing whatever and then talking about, like a relationship issue, whatever. And we don't see that a lot in B2B. And literally the next day I'd posted about that. And he was thinking about exploring that. One, do you think there are other people who post content like that outside of you? I don't see that a lot. I see like Obed, he does like playing video games and talking through that. We're not talking about skits. We're actually just talking about like people just doing regular things while talking about stuff, and how effective you think that is.
I think it's very effective. They take time. That's the only thing, right? And like if you're like me, has ADD. So I've done it many times, right? Fruit cutting. I've done it with construction stuff. So I like literally putting up shelves in a garage. I've done it with taking apart a toilet because I had to. I've done it with taking apart like yard chairs and stuff for like the season because they were cleaning up. Whatever. I've done it tons of times. The problem though is like if you look at it from the outside view, I literally have a tripod over here. I'm doing this thing, and then I have to stop what I'm doing, take the tripod, pause it, go over here, check to make sure the freaking mic was on, like all these things, and like do different angles because the angles I think are great.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't have to do all that stuff, but as someone that just wants to get something done, it does take 3 times more.
Yeah.
So that's the only issue I would say with it. But I think it does work. It's basically like people can follow along with something while you're doing something else. And if you make it weird, it's even better.
Yeah, like that's how so sometimes I will tell people, oh, I have this show, and Tim Davidson, he's my co-host, and they're like, who? I'm like, the fruit cutting guy? Oh yeah, I know that guy. So it's almost become this like extremely creative brand play on your part, because you have this association of like the guy who cuts fruit on LinkedIn, even more so known for that than the ABM stuff. But then if you couple it with actual smart insights, there's 2 things. It's either it's content that plays 2 roles. Because Brendan was like, oh, I wonder if my husband was like, why did you go so light with the weight? And I'm like, okay, it was my first time doing it. I'm trying to film, like you said, you're trying to get the angles, you're trying to film, you want to make sure like the footage is good, like it's actually doing everything that you need it to do. And I didn't need to like on top of that fucking show off like I'm trying to bench. Like I'm not trying to break my back for the internet. Like, so he's like, yeah, you went super light or whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's not some kind of measuring contest. It was just to like be funny. And the initial like reason that I filmed it was because I've started posting a TikTok now because I still keep thinking about you telling me how I'm pathetic with video skills. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn and show him that my video skills are half decent.
Pretty good.
Not bad, right? So I started
not
doing that
great.
and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could just, instead of talking through my workout as a mom of two, let me talk through B2B stuff. It'll be funnier, but then people can also see the workout. And that's when it was funny because I'm like, oh, it does two purposes. For the people who don't give a shit about what
Yeah.
Tim's talking about, they're like, look at this guy fucking chopping fruit. I wonder if he's going to cut his hand off, which is me. I'm that person. And then there's other people who are like, wow, how can he do this while also being smart about it? But do you think it would serve like from not just a brand and entertainment purpose, but also help you with like your business?
I think it does because the other thing to it is it helps with, it's another way to secretly show off other things that you do in hobbies. It's like working out. You do the workout thing. I can guarantee you there might be another marketer that wants landing pages, and they saw the video, but it wasn't that the content was so great. It's that they also love working out in the morning. There's like that connection there that you can do, right? I think you don't see it a lot in B2B. You see, I think you see some like get ready with me ones from like events and stuff. You might see it more on TikTok and Instagram from like those low cost B2B things like that are towards like solopreneurs. You see a lot more on there, but yeah, you don't see it a lot in B2B.
But have people come to you and done business with you and specifically mentioned those types of videos? Like, have you been like, oh, I love that you're the fruit guy, no matter the time frame, okay? Say like even 2 years later, and someone's like, oh, I love your videos about cutting fruit and obviously your insights and stuff, and like it made me want to talk to you.
So yes, I have seen stuff like that, especially when I was at Directive where I was like marketing there. And so like I would see like the how'd you hear about us to say Tim's fruit cutting, which was like almost like a joke, but to be clear, it's not like it's because of the fruit cutting videos. I can guarantee you they saw other stuff. It's just like that was what's most notable in that sense.
It is memorable. And I wonder if that's that. So Brendan wants to try him deadlifting and then everybody's like, yeah, he's talking through content, deadlifting, but then people are also watching him as he racks on more weight. So there's a part of them that's like, is he actually going to lift that much? You know, like whatever, like, is he going to hit a PR? Is he going to actually do that heavy or whatever? Which would be like silently people are rooting for him or wanting him to fail. But he's also getting to subliminally talk about content, which would be super interesting. So I'm going to try to do more of that. I filmed that workout. I also filmed 2 other workouts. And now I have to think about different angles to talk about, like, what's the voiceover going to be? Because I already did the B2B marketer's brain at 5 a.m. So I need to figure out what the other ones are going to be. Is it going to be like, you know, like me spiraling on feedback? That could be one. Like my boss gave me feedback. Yeah. Or another one that's like weird shit I've heard about landing pages. Just stuff like that. That's more expertise based. Anyway, I will tap into you for that and we will report back. But maybe you've started the parasocial trend without actually knowing what it was.
Maybe, hopefully.
Okay, retention.
Right. See ya.
And that's a wrap on Notorious B2B, where we expose the nonsense and remind you that most B2B marketing is just a very expensive guessing game.
Don't, and post a passive-aggressive LinkedIn poll about it. We'll still find you.
And if you have B2B drama we should cover, slide into our DMs. We accept screenshots, leaked internal memos, and questionable brand rebrands.
Until next time, keep your marketing unhinged and your LinkedIn bio free of the words growth hacker. See you later.
Later, skater.